It has been my yearly routine to talk about the best ways to pay for your income taxes, and I know that many people are waiting for this episode because your tax bill has arrived. And fun fact for some of you, if you do not know that you can pay for your income tax bill in interest-free 12 months installments, then you gotta submit this IRAS Tax Master GIRO form. So you don't have to pay one lump sum. You can pay in small installments over 12 months, and best of all, it is interest-free, which means your cash can be put into better places like high interest accounts or T-bills or SSB to generate a higher return. So this is just a basic step for those of you who maybe are your first few years in paying income tax, but that is just very basic. In this video, we will explore more methods over a cup of coffee. And if you want to learn more about this card strategies, spending promotions and discounts, all that, come and join us at our 15,000 over members at Honey Money SG Telegram group. But I'm going to put a caveat this year that I'm not going to talk about Citi Payall, because Citi Payall, even though I have been recommending it for many years, but this year I think the promotion has been a little bit lackluster. First of all, if you have not heard of the new Citi Payall has increased their processing fees to 2.6%, which means if you go into your Citi mobile app and you try to pay via Citi Payall with the fee paying option, which means for every $1,000 spent on Citi Payall, you have to pay $26, which is 2.6% in fees. I think the fee last time was like 2 to 2.2%, so that's a fairly big hike in the fees. So what's the point of paying through Citi Payall then? Because you'll earn additional bonus miles. For example, the current promotion states that you'll earn 2 miles per dollar on Citi Payall transactions, which means for that $1,000 bill, you'll get 2,000 miles, but you have to pay that $26 Citi Payall fees. And that comes with the terms and conditions as well, because you have to make a minimum spend of $5,000 on non-tax transactions on a single card. You can also get to receive additional $80 Grab Gifts voucher on non-tax payments, only with a minimum spend of $8,000 on non-tax transactions on a single card. So let's give an example. If you were to make a $1,000 bill payment via Citi Payall, you pay $26 in fees, and in turn you earn 2,000 miles. So $26 divided by 2,000 miles, that's a cost per mile of 1.3 cents, which is higher than my miles valuation of 1.25 cents per mile. And the promotion is pretty poor this year because you also have to add in the non-tax payments, which some of you may not have, and also the increased fee of 2.6% processing. But if you value your miles and you still want to go ahead, then I guess you can still apply for it. So then I can recommend some good cards for Citi Payall. If you're entry-level credit card, you can look at Citi Premium Miles, because the Citi Thank You points earned via Citi Premium Miles do not expire, and you earn the same 2 miles per dollar anyway. Then if you're of higher income and you're willing to pay the fees, you can look at Citi Prestige, because they do have an existing cardholders offer. So if you own like other Citi credit cards already, but you do not own Citi Prestige, you can still get up to 50,000 air miles with Citi Prestige sign-up offer as an existing customer. And the good thing about using these two cards for Citi Payall is that their miles and points do not expire, unlike Citi Rewards. So very sad, that's a bummer for people who are looking forward to Citi Payall promotion. This year really not good, but I guess I can recommend 2 other avenues to pay your tax afterward from this sponsor. Some of you want to invest in the US market, but you are unsure how to start. So here is a quick guide on how to use Webull to start investing in US equities. Webull offers one of the most competitive pricings with low commission, where the commission is 50 US cents per order minimally with 0 platform fee during the regular and extended hours. To start investing, you can start by funding the account, go to home, then transfers, then deposit via EDDA, fast or telegraphic transfer. EDDA is preferred, so link your internet banking account for direct debit. Next, go to transfers, then currency exchange and convert to your selected currency. Example, Singapore dollars to US dollars with no currency exchange or conversion fees. Finally, select your favorite stock or ETF. For limit orders, put in your limit price and quantity, then click on buy and confirm. Wait for the order to fill. And here are the rewards when you sign up for a Webull account with my exclusive link. For the welcome promo for new customers only, deposit $2,000 and above and fulfill the requirements to get up to $1,050 of cash vouchers, plus an exclusive Moneybull Interest Booster of 180 days, which could elevate your USD Moneybull subscription return to up to 8.4% per annum return. There is also a transfer in deal for both new and existing customers who have not done any shares transfer to Webull. Transfer in $10,000 and above worth of US listed shares and maintain for 90 days to get up to $2,000 of cash vouchers, plus a bonus of $500 trading vouchers, plus a transfer out fee subsidy of up to $150 with my exclusive link. Terms and conditions apply. So don't miss these offers. Use my exclusive link or scan the QR code right here to get your Webull account today. Alright, second method to pay for your income taxes is through third-party processors, and I'm sure you all are familiar with them already, namely CardUp and iPayMy. So why are they called third-party payment processors? Is because you can charge your credit card through these payment platforms, and then these payment platforms will make a payment on behalf of you to the relevant authority, which is IRAS in this case. Then some of you may ask, where got so good? How can they earn? Then of course they have to charge you some processing fees. How much are the processing fees then? If you're looking at the usual rate, it is 2.6% admin fees, which is in line with Citi Payall. But here's the thing, right? There is usually promo codes, and especially for new users, you can use my promo code to get $30 offset in fees for your first payment. So you can use this first time user promo code first, then the subsequent payment, you can still take advantage of their promo codes. For example, on CardUp, they are offering 1.75% fees instead of the usual 2.6% if you pay through a Visa card. Also for iPayMy, they are offering 1.75% in fees for tax payments as well. So that is a much more discounted rate compared to Citi Payall 2.6%, right? 1.75%, that's a significant chunk of savings. So what are some best cards to use with CardUp or iPayMy? I think you can look at the official sources, but if you want a shortcut, then I guess one of the best cashback cards is the Maybank Platinum VISA, 3.33%. Then for miles card entry level, we have UOB PRVI Miles VISA, which gives you 1.4 miles per dollar. And then if you're willing to pay the fees, you can look at DBS Vantage, which has 1.5 miles per dollar, and you get an existing user reward as well if you sign up for the DBS Vantage and meet the requirements. So for cashback clear card, right, 3.33% cashback, and then you deduct the processing fees, you will still get a hit. But for miles, how do you really value them? Because if you look at 1.4 miles per dollar, and then you pay a fee of 1.75%, you're buying miles at around 1.25 cents per mile, which is equals to my miles valuation. But the thing is, paying through these payment processors is much simpler than paying through Citi Payall, right? Citi Payall, you remember, you still have to meet the $5,000 or $8,000 spend if you want more gifts, plus the fact that you have to include non-tax payments. So really, you pay through CardUp or iPayMy, you have lesser conditions to fulfill, and yet you can enjoy lower fees. So for those of you who are interested in these payment processors, you can use my referral code and sign up, and then use it as a first time promo code, then subsequently apply the relevant discount promo code. So if you think that all these payment processors is too much hassle, I still got another method, which is through our very popular HSBC Everyday Global Account, Everyday Plus Rewards, 1% GIRO cashback. Yes, I know the name is very long, but I'm very sure I've been talking about this for a few years already. Some of you are already familiar, which is one of the conditions where you get 1% GIRO cashback when you make payments to billing organizations. But take note that it is through GIRO only, and remember at the start of this video, I told you all to fill up the GIRO master form, which means that IRAS will deduct the payment from your HSBC Everyday Global Account every month automatically, and in turn HSBC will give you 1% cashback up to $300 if you're a regular customer, and then up to $500 if you're a HSBC Premier account holder. But of course, there are terms and conditions to fulfill, like for the entry level, you need to transfer $2,000 every month into the HSBC Everyday Global Account, plus you have to make 5 transactions. So this can be pay now transfer transactions out of your HSBC accounts, or it can be card spends. So for example, if your monthly installment is like $100, so 1% GIRO cashback on HSBC EGA will give you $1 back. And just to put a data point out there, if you submit the GIRO form to IRAS, it is very manual. You have to print it out, fill it up, and then mail back to the IRAS address. That will take around 2 to 3 weeks of processing time, plus the fact that HSBC has to approve that GIRO arrangement. So it will take some time, don't rush into it, just wait for it to happen. Now, having discussed all these 3 methods, I know that there are some other methods like the bank payment facility, but I don't think that the miles valuation and the fees involved to pay via these payment facilities are great, so I don't recommend them, but they are definitely available out there in the market if you want to explore them. Also, I want to confess that even though I've shared these methods, I'm personally not using any of them because I have even better strategies, which is shared in my private community AZCM. But don't worry, today I'm not here to shield the cost. I'm just saying that there are better strategies out there, but I cannot share it publicly. Like I always say, I always believe that tax savings is the best form of savings, even better than the cashback, miles and rewards. So if you really want to strategize on your individual income tax especially, then you can look at my previous video where I talk about my tax relief strategy for 2023.